Welcome back to Talk with TQ. I am so pleased today to have one of my favorite people in Peekskill, New York. Her name is Sol Miranda. Sol is the co-founder and director of outreach for the performing arts entity in Peekskill. This is where all the collective performing arts people, performing artists, actually converge to get a little recognition and to actually say their piece in Peekskill. I've been very privileged to work with them, you know, as a visual artist, but I really appreciate the fact that Sol does so well at connecting with the performing artists in Peekskill. As a performing artist herself, she has actually recently achieved the honor, and I guess it's an esteem, to be chosen for a role on an upcoming, I think currently untitled, sitcom on NBC with Tina Fey. Welcome, Sol. Thank you so much for coming to the show. There's so much to say about you that I trip all over my own words, so I'm going to let you talk.
Don't you worry, and thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. What can I say? It's been very busy here in Peekskill with Embark Peekskill, as you said. It's a non-profit coalition of performing and literary artists, and we have a big vision to establish and develop a space, a performing arts center for Peekskill, where we can present local and internationally renowned artists as well, because we have some internationally renowned artists in Peekskill, such as Daisy Joplin, we have Rebel Baroque. So they are actually both members of Embark. So as a nonprofit, we are now at a space, Embark at EMC on 925 South Street.
Right.
And then, like you also said, I have had the amazing blessing opportunity to be cast in the upcoming Tina Fey and Robert Carlock sitcom. Actually, I just found out that it has been titled. Originally was titled Touken, that is Tooken.
Okay.
And then it was untitled, and now I believe the new one is, and I think to stay, is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's the new title of the sitcom.
That sounds like Yiddish to me.
Right? Yes.
Is it?
Yes. It's good, but no. I don't think it's in order to have some kind of Yiddish undertone.
Right.
But the lead, played by Ellie Kemper from Bridesmaids and The Office, she performed in The Office during its last year, I think. I was not following the show by the end of it, but I hear that she was amazing. She is very talented and super intelligent actress, naturally funny, and a wonderful, generous performer. Colleague, if you will. So Ellie Kemper is the lead, and her character's name is Kimmy Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt. So what part do you play?
The part I play, her name is Donna Maria.
Donna Maria.
Yes, and she's a Spanish speaking character, no nonsense, down to earth. She makes fun of the other ladies because the premise of the sitcom is that these ladies were abducted by a crazy doomsday cult leader, right?
Okay.
But when you see the pilot, they are actually liberated, they escape, and the lead, Kimmy, when they come to New York City, the four of us, Kimmy decides to stay in New York City and start a new life, right? Okay. Because pretty much she did not know what life was in the real world for like 10 or 15 years. So she is definitely unbreakable, she's tough, and at the same time, she's full of innocence. And so you see the juxtaposition of feistiness and fieriness, and at the same time her innocence, getting to know the world again for the first time. And the viewers will learn that through her eyes, you know.
So tell me about your part. I mean, you have a recurring role, so you're
Yes.
part of the cast. How did they
Not
find
regular, recurring. So,
That's okay. Recurring's good.
oh, it is very good.
You know,
Trust
sometimes
me.
people tune in just to see that, recurring peripheral character for whatever reason.
Well, even for a day player, it's an honor as a working actor to have a day player in a show, especially episodic TV. But yes, no, I can't complain. I am very happy.
How did they find you?
Well, I have an agent, a wonderful agent. Her name is Cynthia Katz from Gotham Talent Agency in New York. And she called me about a month and a half ago. Hey, tomorrow, an audition for this Tina Fey show. She's the producer, one of the producers and one of the writers. Next day I'm there, and the audition, the casting office was quite full of actresses. I think that day they were looking at many, many Latina actresses for the role of Dona Maria.
Yeah.
By the way, she only speaks Spanish, but she makes fun of the other ladies.
I can imagine.
Oh, she makes fun of the other ladies big time. But so it was another audition in the life of an actor, where especially if it's that high stake audition opportunity, you see many, many actors right there with you in the room. So it was great. The audition went great. Then the next day I had to go to a callback, which was a different kind of callback. As you know, you're an actress as well.
Well, kind of.
Well, but you know the
Yeah, you get called back. Sometimes you just get the part without even auditioning. That happens.
Yeah, as well. The callback, usually you go to meet the director and a few producers, and it's just the three of you in the room and the casting director, of course. But this callback was special, was unique. We had to go to Rockefeller Center.
Okay.
And we had a little rehearsal, and really little did I know that we were going to do a table read at a screen room with 200 seats in front of executives and crew members. I mean, there were like 200 people
200
listening.
people. What's a table read?
A table read is exactly that. The actors sit around the table to read the script in front of
The producer.
a few members of the show, like producers, and sometimes there is no audience, so it's just a table read among the actors, the director. Yes, yeah.
Were you the only actor getting a table read? Were there other people there to do a table read?
No, all of the actors for the pilot were there, but this table read / callback was no guarantee, was no offer.
Yeah.
So just like a callback.
So I imagine you've been in this situation many times because your career spans over 20 years. I was reading your bio, and you've done a few things. You've been cast as a performer, a character on Law and Order.
Yeah.
And that twice, right?
3 times actually.
3 times.
3 times I did, 3 day players. Wonderful, but not.
Tell me about those parts. I'm curious.
Well, day players, which is the same as what they call co-star. They are necessary for us working actors, and when we get them, we are so happy to do them.
Yeah.
Basically, a social worker once, a nanny another time, custodial another time. So, just one scene. Then I also played more of a guest star in the show that it was playing until last year. I think it only played for a year.
Okay.
A Gifted Man.
Yeah.
A Gifted Man. That one was a very nice show, and also I got a nice exposure during that episode with 3 scenes, so it was more of a guest star. And I was playing the mother of who was grieving because her son had been killed in a drive-by shooting.
Yeah.
And
That was you.
that
That was
Yeah,
you.
that was me.
That was you. Okay.
And Blue Bloods. I was in the pilot of Blue Bloods that I still playing.
So you really have quite a journey. It's not like suddenly you got a phone call and there you are on a Tina Fey sitcom. So I've read a little bit of your bio, actually a lot of it, I'll admit. I've been like sort of cyber stalking you a little bit, but but you've actually done opera, you've done theater.
Well, not opera. I don't sing. I'm not a trained singer. I can carry a tune,
Yes.
but and I love singing, but in the shower. The opera thing, I trained. I did extensive training in this training called Suzuki technique training.
Suzuki.
It's not the music training for violin or piano. And I also trained in the Viewpoints training under Anne Bogart, which is an avant-garde director, very respected all over around the world.
Yeah.
So she has a theater company called City Company.
Okay.
That is SITI, and they are amazing. They do really postmodern work that is very physical, very compositional, a la Robert Wilson, and she directed and conceived her own version of Seven Deadly Sins by Vile.
Oh, wow.
And I was, believe it or not, one of the dancers.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but in this technique, it's more of a postmodern dance. That was, of course, before I had my 2 kids.
Yeah.
I had a different body.
Well, we all have a different body.
But as an actor, I like, and I always trained rigorously in areas that demanded a lot of physicality from the actor. That's how I work.
So you actually, I've seen you at Embark, and I can see that you are like the quintessential actor. So at Embark, what do you do in terms of working with people that are performing artists? Because I know that you're so highly respected in Peekskill for this.
Thank you.
Yet,
Such an honor. Such an honor.
But you somehow managed to maintain a very high level of humility, which I imagine might be somewhat challenging when all of a sudden you're going to be a star.
No, I am not a star. I am a working actor, and I am, first of all, again, thank you for having me here. I owe so much to the community. The community has been so supportive of me and also of Embark and Katie.
Yes.
Katie Schmidt-Fader is
yes.
the also the other co-founder and executive director of Embark. And
a performing artist herself.
And she's an amazing performer and director who herself has major credits as well. For example, she was selected in the prestigious Directors Lab.
Wow, that's
at
impressive.
Lincoln Center.
That's something. How did you guys meet? How did you meet? How did she meet you?
Yeah, that's the actual origins of Embark. We are both mothers who moved to Peekskill from Brooklyn. We didn't know each other before that. And
But you both lived in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but we didn't know each other.
Wow,
And actually, I think she also lived in Park Slope or near Park Slope, as I did as well. You know, we met because our kids, picking up our kids at First Hebrew preschool, she had her kids there, I had my kids there, we bumped into each other, oh, I'm an actor. And then 2 years later, we met again through the school district because her daughter and my son are in the same school grade.
Okay.
And that's how we started talking. And actually, it was Katie, the one who saw the need, the one who pretty much saw the why of Embark. We have the beautiful Paramount, an amazing landmark.
Yes.
But it's really not a theatrical space or a performing arts center conducive to arts in education. There's no classroom, there's no wing space. Not that we have a wing space at Embark at EMC because it's a small studio, but that's the big vision, right? So Katie actually, while she was acting in Cats by Scarlett Antonia, she decided, we need a space that can have not only a couple of performing arts spaces, small and medium size, but also classrooms, so teaching can happen there, and also rehearsal studios. So not only the local artists, but artists from the area can, come to this space and network, collaborate, foster each other, do their own thing, and also perform. A space that you can have resident solo artists, performers and writers, and also resident companies. Right now we have a couple of resident companies that embark, such as hand to mouth players.
Okay.
And we have also Now or Never Productions.
Now or Never.
Productions from, I believe they're from Elmsford, and they presented a play last fall.
It's interesting that they were moved a little bit further north to be involved with Embark.
And you know why? Because Peekskill is happening.
Peekskill is happening.
Yeah,
It's true. The performing artists are amazing around here. I'm wondering if what Embark will be doing during the open studios that's coming in June. I'm just curious as to if there's anything planned, or is everybody on their own? I know with the visual artists, we have sort of a cohesive entity as well.
Yes. It's so amazing what PAA, Peekskill Arts Alliance, you're a member, what you guys are doing as well, and what you've been doing for a long time, like 20 years, right?
PAA is pretty new, and thanks to Maureen
name,
Winzig, it's actually a viable entity.
Absolutely.
I have to give her credit for that, because I kind of in the steering committee saw what went on there, and she's amazing as well. But I can imagine the two of you can work somewhat together from occasionally.
Absolutely, yes. It's all about collaboration.
Thank you. I love
And
that word.
yes, actually, if I can say this as well, in 1 week, next Saturday, May 17th, we're going to have one of our members, a seasoned performer, dancer, founder of a New York City-based dance company, Inner Landscapes Dance Theater, Nomi Bakhar.
Yes.
She is going to be at Embark and show three dance performances on film, and she will also, it's also a book signing event. Her new book, Gates of Power Method, is out, and so she will be reading excerpts from the book and connect how the journey of an artist and her journey as a counselor, life coach have connected, have met, in order to heal others, in order to help others transform their life.